Hello there, and thanks for looking at the internet at KROQ.com, 106.7 KROQ. I'm Stryker, and very excited. You know these guys sitting next to me, but let me introduce them. Eric Kretz on the end. Then you got Robert DeLeo, Dean DeLeo, Scott Weiland.
Stryker.
Yes.
Thank you guys. And why did you know and think it was special, Scott? Was it because of the shows you were doing? Was it because of the following you were getting in Southern California?
Yeah, the following we're getting in Southern California, in LA and San Diego. About I think there are 12 songs on the record. 5 of them I think were songs that we were playing out during our live set before making the album. And I think 7 of them were songs that we just wrote in our writing and pre-production sessions. We just got real creative spark, and it just took off. And the difference is after making Core and then making Purple, we really kind of, from that point on, kind of co-produced the records with Brandon. We had some experience even before going into Core, because Robert had his own studio, and so we would hone our writing and production skills, over at Robert's home studio. It was 1/4-inch 8-track reel-to-reel.
Wow.
Fostex.
It used to be a thing called tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but so we already kind of had an idea, how to create sounds and that, but we learned a lot from Brendan, and we always sort of wanted to evolve on every record and not copy ourselves.
Right.
It's kind of like a real early strong point that we made and actually talked about.
So one of the greatest songs from Stone Temple Pilots, Plush, was written in a jacuzzi.
How did we get under?
Well, actually, it was originally the music to it. I remember because I was working for this modeling agency, driving girls to their castings, and and I was getting paid $8 under the table, which is not bad,
Right.
for 1991.
Yeah.
And Robert was working like right across the street at a guitar shop. What was the name of the?
It was Sunset Custom.
Yeah, Sunset
Drums,
Custom.
Yeah.
And so during my lunch break, I'd run across the street, and Robert would say, "Hey, check this out," I got a new idea, and I remember Plush was one of the songs that he was starting to write, and
Dead
Creep.
Loaded.
What's that?
Dead and Loaded.
Yeah.
You came over
Yeah,
and had that
yeah, I
idea.
had that riff in my head. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was a very creative time.
It is hard to imagine Stone Temple Pilots not being together. And I'm sure you guys know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Everyone is really excited and passionate, and just
make me
feels
cry.
good
Don't
that
make me
you guys are putting out this music. So thank you for doing it.
Well,
Well,
thank
thank
you.
Yeah.
Thank
for
you.
appreciating it.
Thank you.
Because it wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for the fans. And we always write music for ourselves. That we have to be pleased, with what we're putting down to tape. But ultimately, it's the fans that allow you to have a legacy. Well, and I think that we have this this passion inside us that, and it's almost like a competitive spirit that we want to continue to write stuff and push the envelope and be valid always, and just relying on the catalog and all the hits.
Yeah.
That's not we're not that band, because for me, there's two things. On stage, you're a performing artist, you know. And studio, you're an artist that's creating art, you know. And recording it and figuring out ways, you know, collaboration of ideas and that's, for me, that's like really where the beauty is. I mean, I love playing shows, but you know, it gets a little, for every band, tedious when you're been touring for months, you know. So writing and recording in the studio, I think, is really what we love to do. Yeah, I got a call from Dean.
Yeah.
I was on tour with Velvet Revolver,
Right.
and Dean says, "Are you sitting down?" And I go, "Actually, I am. I was with my family out by the pool, and we were actually in Jersey."
So funny.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Jersey.
It's another serendipitous.
Yeah.
Are you wearing Affliction?
And so he says, "We've been asked to headline Coachella for $1 million," and I was like, "Are you serious?" And I knew that Velvet Revolver would be done touring before then, but it took, like, you know, too much politicking, and we weren't able to start it off at Coachella, but we headlined all the summer festivals around the country, and that's kind of how it started. And then Velvet Revolver, you know, ceased to exist, and
Right.
and it's kind of like when we were able to go, you know, full throttle.
All right, let's talk about your record, you guys, which is coming out on Tuesday. Scott, do you think the band has anything to prove to anyone? Wouldn't...
You know what? I don't know. I don't really think of it like that. You know, I think that we've already toured, and the touring has been very successful, and like Dean said, Robert said, the natural progression is to make a record, but you know what? I learned a long time ago not to have expectations that every single is going to be, you know, top 10 or number one, that every album's not going to sell millions of records or be number one, because you know, getting used to that happening for you know, for a while, you know, then if it doesn't happen exactly the way you're planning it out in your head, then you get let down. And so I learned to just kind of not really just focus on making the best music, and then kind of leaving it up to the forces that be, you know.
Very nice.
It allowed us to be able to, you know, to get a lot more done during the period of time where we were able to work on the record. Because the reason why the record took the longest that it's ever taken us to make a record is we were touring constantly throughout the process of making the album. So we tour for a month and a half or 3 weeks, and then we come back, take a few days to decompress, and then go right back into the studio, work on the record for you know, 3 weeks, a month, and then go back out on the road. And so having, you know, access to 3 studios was very helpful. But although there was a time when, because we had some additional production by Don Was, where he said, you know what, I want you guys all to get in the room together and play these songs out, so we can figure out, you know, what the best key is, and you know, and suss out some of the arrangement ideas, and you know, that was a really good thing, because I don't think we've ever really done that in the past. You know, we write the song and you sing it in the studio, and then there's some songs that wouldn't translate live as well, because they weren't in the right key for performance. You know, it's like you're the voice, the vocal cord is the smallest muscle in the body, and yet it's able to put out so much sound. So finding the right key for songs was an important thing.
You say we're all getting older.
Yeah, you want to be able to play your material and sing it in a key that is actually in your range and not out of your range, where it doesn't sound like you're pushing it.